Nama Shiva. So, Namaskaram, everyone. Okay, I think we still have one more minute to begin. So, anyways, we shall see this. No? Okay, see, we have received 24 questions. Am I audible? Or let me just switch off the fan just a minute. Namah Shivaya. Thank you. This is for which I have not disabled the chat this time. So that last time I have no idea whether am I audible or not. Namah Shivaya. Okay. So, anyways, the climate here in Tamil Nadu is too worst. We couldn't remain without the fan or AC. See, we have received a total of 24 questions uh, regarding Japa. Let me just read out those 24 questions. So today our webinar will be covering, all those 24 questions. Okay, first is Shiva Bhakti, second is one-pointedness, third is correct way to do mantra japa or nama japa, next is pregnancy related benefits. So, if at all that Amma is here online, we shall talk about this pregnancy related benefits. Else, we will skip this. And how to use Japa Mala, how to begin and complete Japa, leg numbness, inability to sit straight, Manasika Japa without moving tongue and lips is a challenge, how to do Japa intensively, how to tackle obstacles of doing Japa, best practices to adopt while doing Japa, then true essence of Japa, Japa and individual's spiritual energy, difference between Vedic and Tantric Japa, speed of Japa affects its effectiveness, why is Japa counting important, right away to hold Japa Mala, how does Japa purify the mind and the body, and why do some people feel no effect from Japa despite practicing for years? Good question it is. Signs that Japa is truly working. This is also a good question. Commercialization of Japa affected its authenticity. That's there. I started learning from 2004. Even well before that, this was there. So this is not new to, new to people. And thus, listening to Japa has the same effect as chanting it yourself. Somebody, a lazy person, has asked this question. And can a Japa alone is enough for spiritual realization? So, apart from our, discussion on Japa Mahima, we will cover answers for these 23 questions and one question regarding pregnancy related benefits. We will talk only if that Amma is present here. Okay. Okay. So now let's begin. Let me have this here. Okay. So what is Japa? Let's start from what is Japa. And another thing, all your queries will get the more and more you travel. I am not, ending the time for this webinar for 1 hour or half an hour or 2 hours. So here the purpose of us coming online is to clean the digital distortions. So until and unless the session ends and the question and answer session comes, please, don't type any messages. Once you get a chance to ask for a question, by that time you shall ask. We will cover the questions as much as possible. As much as possible. Okay. That's how it has to be, though. Yes, the purpose will not get resolved, right? Okay. So now how do I close this chat window? I don't know. I'm new to all these and I'm not comfortable. Okay. Anyway, so let me just close it with my notebook. This is one lesson because I see people, they are doing japa and their mobile is either on their left side or right side. Beep beep. Who is the message? Grrr. Who is the message? Who has sent me the message? And what is the message? Those things must not happen. So always, spiritual wisdom comes from material life. Do's and don'ts, both are wisdom. It's not like what to do alone is a wisdom. So we have to carry from the material part and we will have to take it to spiritual part. So spiritual journey is not something different, but spiritual journey is quite opposite to what we live here. So let's start. What is japa? Japa means simply in one word to tell it is repetition. That's all. Not more than that. Japa means repetition. Say, for example, uh, Ramesh, a name Ramesh is there. You tell Ramesh, you are calling him. You say Ramesh, 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 Ramesh. You are doing Japa for Ramesh. You are doing Japa on Ramesh. That's all. There is no technicality. There is nothing powerful. There is nothing terrific. No, Japa means repetition. As simple as to say. What you repeat matters because the more and more and more and more and more and more and more you talk something, you start beginning to see that and you start beginning to feel that. So, but again, this is called mantra jala or jala mahima. Jala means something that is, how do you put it? Something that's not truth. Ah, something that is not truth. So that is jala, mantra jala. So like how we have the topic Japa Mahima, the same way we can even have the topic Jala Mahima. Jala Mahima, how this Jala Mahima is making one entirely turn against the path of spirituality. Japa Mahima takes one towards spirituality. Jala Mahima takes one, to the opposite direction of spirituality. So Japa means repetition. And last week we did puja here for someone. He said, I didn't want to tell this by that time because now it is coming. Ajapa Ajapa is going inside me continuously. Ajapa Ajapa is happening. Ajapa Ajapa is happening. Kind of. See, it is very easy to learn. Japa means repetition. Ajapa means no repetition. Correct. Then how come you are doing ajapa? Absence of japa is ajapa. It is not like doing Namah Shivaya, 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 Namah Shivaya is ajapa. No, that is wrong. Japa means an act of repeating. Ajapa means there is no act of repeating. That's all. So japa means doing japa. Ajapa means absence of japa. Like how mangala, auspicious, amangala, absence of auspicious. Adhe madrila, same like that only. Japa, ajapa. Like how we have dvaita, advaita. The same way. Without walking in the path of dvaita, one can never go into advaita. The same way, without walking in the path of japa, one cannot get to learn ajapa. So, japa is the basic first step in the path of spirituality is japa. This Japa is Shakti Swarupa. So somebody asked, first question is regarding how to get the Shiva Bhakti. Japa is Shakti Swarupa. You do Shiva Japa, you do Durga Japa, you do Narayana Japa, you do Narasimha Japa, you do the Japa of any Swami or any Amba. But Japa is Shakti Swarupa. Then what is Shiva Swarupa? The one that contains Shakti is Shiva, no? So the one, your Hridaya, your silence, your Dhyana that contains the Japa is Shiva. That is why elders will say Shiva and Shakti cannot be separated. It's like Shiva is container of Shakti. Neither Shakti can remain aloof, nor Shiva can remain aloof. So it's like electric current that is there around everywhere, goes no value until and unless it is streamlined into a tube light or a AC or a fan. Shiva is like that. That is why Dhyana is 100% mandatory for the one who does Japa. Your Shiva Bhakti here in doing any, whether no, there are talks will come, no. This form of Shiva is superior than this form of Narayana. Or the other people will say, this form of Narayana is superior than this form of Shiva. No. Howsoever they may talk, always stories will have exaggerations. Stories will have kalpana. When it comes to Mantra Tantra Vidya, there are no stories. Every single Dhyana is Shiva Swarupa. Every single Japa is Shakti Swarupa. So when Shiva and Shakti, you know what, dance within us. That is how the breathing pattern of a man changes. So that is why the one who does Japa has to practice yoga. No different difficult yogas and all. Just pranayama is enough. That we will see later. So Shiva and Shakti cannot be separated. So Japa and Dhyana cannot be separated. Dhyana and yoga cannot be separated. And yoga and discipline cannot be separated. And discipline and the man's growth cannot be separated. As simple as to say. So a man who wants to walk in the path of spirituality has to remain 100% disciplined. As simple as to say. That is why it is called spiritual discipline. Next is one-pointedness. Somebody asked how to do japa with one-pointedness. See, there are when it comes to japa. Now it is all, you know what, everywhere in digital media. No, whether they know to pronounce it properly or not, but Vaikari, Pamsu, Manasik. Okay, see, there the japa, the not the how to put it up rightly. There are three ways to do japa. It is not the three types, which where you know what, one is superior, one is inferior, kind of. No, not like that. They are all three equal parts. The path of Vaikari, the path of Upamsu, the path of Manasika. Text will say, you leave the text, burn the text. You take Mahabharata, it will talk only about Mahabharata. You take Ramayana, it will talk only about Ramayana. You take any book that will talk only about that subject. One can get 100% knowledge on that subject, but with that subjectual knowledge, he cannot interpret other subjects. So, text is always a text that is with the last page. Any text has a last page, but Maharaj will not have a last page. You always remember this. Okay, so here I told you, no, doing japa one can do in three parts. One is Vaikari, one is Upamsu, one is Manasika. If you cannot focus, if you cannot do japa properly, or if you cannot concentrate, then you can chant loudly. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. This is how it has to begin. When we are younger days, our parents will tell, no, read loudly. My father will say, you should read in such a way, I will have to listen this, I will have to hear what you read downstairs. Even if I just open the main door gate, I will have to still hear you. So you will have to read it loudly. The more louder we chant, all our concentration gets focused at one point. So how come you will say Vaikari is lower? That is helping you, no? See, if your goal is 100th step, I'm telling this 1000th time. If your goal is 100th step, from first step till 99th step has the equal value of that 100th step. You cannot tell one is lower, 100 is greater. No, all has equal importance. If you think 1, 2, 3 and all is lesser, can you step directly to 99th step? You cannot. Or can you sit directly on 100th step, like how we imagine now? That's all not possible. So, when it comes to spirituality, there is nothing lower, there is nothing greater. Like how first step has its own importance to reach the 100th step, the same way, all has its own importance. So, somebody who said, I couldn't focus one-pointedness. You can chant japa like this. You chant 100 japa. Then slowly, if you chant like this, no, Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. You try. You all will get focused on Om Namah Shivaya only. At some point of time, you cannot see who is friend and you cannot hear anybody who is talking. So you have attained one-pointedness in the path of Vaikari, which is seen very low by the educated textual pundits. So once you started learning this is how we all have learned. This is how you will learn if you learn under proper Maharaj. If you just jump from one person to another in YouTube like platforms, now I have no idea. 33 people are there. Where and all you have gone, I have no idea. I think I am 100 plus one. Unfortunately, I am also sitting in that same place, 100 plus one. For the only reason, this is the only medium where you know what we can tell the importance of how the spirituality is getting distorted by just reading contents from everywhere, and mind is polluted. This is how we were all trained. We all trained with Sahasranamas. My journey started with Hanumanta Sahasranama. It will take 45 minutes to 1 hour. 45 minutes to 1 hour single focused concentration. Won't we get the Swami's grace when we are 100% single focused? So, this is the path of Vaikari. Once your mind is accustomed to single pointedness, if you cannot get single pointedness in spirituality, 100% you cannot get single pointedness in material aspect also. Your quality of work won't be 100%, because this one pointedness is the common terminology which we need for any profession. Concentration is required right from the LKG onwards. If we don't get that concentration, then we cannot excel in any field. So once you learn to develop that concentration, no. So second step is upamsu. There you can make your lips move and chant. That's all. And then once you are practiced this third, only you can get into manasika. Only then you can do even 10,000 japa with 100% concentration. Immediately, if you think you can just revise PDF just because you know how to read books in English, you take some PhD books, you read, and you get into research. Nonsense. No. So there is no lesser, lower, and all. It has to start level one. Sorry, step one, step two, step three. For you to reach step three, step one and step two is mandatory. Directly, you cannot keep your feet on step three. Okay. So this is how one has to practice japa. So let's, and what is this japa? Can we call this as sadhana means? No, this is not sadhana. This is japa. An act of repetition is japa. An act of repetition can never become a sadhana. What is sadhana? Achieving the unachievable is sadhana. Is this hard for you to get Om Namah Shivaya or Om Anjaneyaya Namaha or Om Bhairavaya Namaha or Om Kalikayai Namaha? No, this is not hard. You are not achieving something that is unachievable. Second, you can hardly focus for 10 to 15 minutes maximum. Hardly you can sit for 1 hour. That 1 hour also body will shake, mind will itch, we will get yawning and all visualizations will come, all thought process will come, cell will ring here. What sadhana is there? No sadhana. So always we should speak in such a way what we are and what we have to become. Now at this point, I want to learn how to do japa, and from there I want to learn how to do sadhana. If doing japa is a sadhana, then why do we need to have two names, japa and sadhana, with two different meanings? Japa means an act of repetition. Sadhana means achieving the unachievable. So how come there is no right? So we will have to understand things properly. Only then we can walk in the path properly. Okay. And then how to use Japa Mala. In Japa Mala, I have seen people, you know what, they during Amavasya and all, they will post it. Until seeing those things in Facebook, I have no idea these Mahapanditas and all will be doing like this. They are chanting Japa in left hand and they are giving Argya in left hand, like water, Argya, water, Argya, water, Argya. Papakarya. Papakarya. Papa. You might be of left hand, you might be of right-handed person. For certain kriyas, you will have to use right hand, means you will have to use right hand only. Even if the right hand is cut, there is no right hand, you have only left hand, then don't do that work. They are all Mahapanditas. They are all coming online, YouTube. Imagine spreading Papa. Nama Shivaya. Shivo. So you are using Japamala in your right hand only. In your right hand. You shall hold your Japamala in this finger only. And this finger has to remain separate. You cannot have your Japamala and you can rotate like how they show in movies. You quit movie knowledge. You quit imagining seeing movies. Because whatever that you see in movies, no, that's the knowledge the director has on this subject. So quit watching movies. Make sure this finger remains pointed out towards Swami. On middle finger, you are keeping Japamala and you are rotating the beads towards yourself. First. Then when this 108 comes, no, you cannot bypass the center bead which we call Meru. You cannot bypass it and again you cannot do. These things and all you cannot find it in books. So once you reach Meru by doing japa like this, then you will have to reverse it. Another 108. And your Japa Mala should be kept in a bag in such a way not even the sunlight touches it. Nobody should see your Japa Mala. Even while doing Japa Mala, it has to be inside. And your Japa Mala cannot go beyond the waist. This is also I am seeing. They are having big lengthy Japa Mala, they are tying all around, they are doing this, they are doing. No. Make sure the Japa Mala is hardly this much of size. Bead has got nothing to do. The size of the bead, I mean, the size of the bead has got nothing to do. So keep in front of your chest. Japamala has to be only here, not on stomach or not like this or in a way like how you feel. If at all you feel pain, make sure this pain is going to bring you pleasure. So you do this. Bear it. Bear the pain. The more and more you bear the pain, the more and more you become strong. If you ignore the pain, you cannot become strong. Do the japa. Do the japa. Do the japa. Let the shoulder pain. Do the japa. Do the japa. Do the japa. Let the shoulder pain. Do the japa. Do the japa. Do the japa. Shoulder pain. Do the japa. You are achieving something not achievable early. So on that day, this is becoming a sadhana. On that day only. On that day only, this is becoming sadhana. Because usually, you know what, you will get, pain here for doing 500, 600 japas. That day you ignored the pain and made achievable something that you cannot achieve on in routine. You have achieved it. 1500 japa. Double. That is sadhana for that day. We should know the difference. Only then we should know to respect to who are learned. Only then we should know where we are and where we need to go. Okay. This is how you will have to use Japa Mala. And there are mantras for Japa Mala. So those mantras and all, I am not going to tell here. And next is how to begin and complete Japa. Always there are steps, like how the day begins with prayer. The same way, Japa means act of repetition. Act of repetition with concentration. So before you touch Japa Mala, you will have to gain the concentration. Without gaining the concentration, touching Japa Mala and doing this, it's all just, an act of repetition. Simply an act of repetition. It goes useless. So you will have to, before touching the Japa Mala, you will have to train yourself in such a way. Now you are ready to touch the Japa Mala with 100% concentration. What gives you that is Pranayama. That is why Pranayama is there in Vaidika Marga, Pranayama is there in Tantrika Margam, Pranayama is there in Mantrika Margam, Pranayama is there in Yoga Margam also. Pranayama is the foundation. And now this Pranayama is getting, totally hampered by the neo-spirituality Gurujis and all by adding the word technique with it. Pranayama technique. Reading 10 books, thinking of one and innovating another, testing with all the peoples. Nonsense. Technique and all must not come. There is no technique. Pranayama is yoga. Let's hold the words that is rooted in tradition. Only then we can learn tradition, we can become tradition, and we can become a Hindu, first of all. Okay. So what is pranayama? Disciplining the breath. Breath is linked to thoughts. So disciplining the breath is disciplining the thoughts. The more and more the thoughts are curbed, the more and more it will facilitate you to remain in Dhyana. The more and more you remain in Dhyana, the more and more the Japa will carry value. Every single Japa will carry value only when this part is zero. Not even one thought has to be there. It has to remain like an empty pot, gata. So when they make noise, the beautiful sound has to come. It cannot be a garbage box, because every single japa is like a camphor, sorry, what you call a sandal paste. So you cannot put that sandal paste into the garbage. So it has to be like a golden vessel. So this is the tattva of Bhairava Vidya actually. It's not like holding skull, keeping it on head, and that's all gimmicks. Kapalika Vidya is all here. So pranayama. Pranayama, you would have to start from your right nostril. Okay. Though the text will say Idagalai, Pingalai, Shushumna. It is for the sake of convenience of talking, they put Idagalai front. In practice, Idagalai is not first. In practice, Pingalai is first. So never inhale the breath through left nostril. Then you will become every false as true, and every you will believe every false as true and every true as false. It is always the Surya Bhagavan that brings clarity. Chandra Bhagavan puts you into emotions. Japa, puja are all supposed to bring clarity inside a man. It is not to put a man into a lot of emotions and confusions. At the end of the day, nobody will have a clarity. So start from right nostril. One inhale, never pressure. Yoga is no pressure, no pleasure. Yoga is making you as it is. So inhale it to your capacity. Then hold it to your capacity. Then leave it to your capacity. And this, your capacity has the ratio. Else, what discipline is there? No, it is all free will. If everything is free will, there is no discipline. Imagine the world becoming chaos. There is no path that says you have a free will, you can do anything. Spirituality is, after all, a free will. You are swatantran. Nonsense. You learn fight. What they will tell you is you are not supposed to hurt anybody. Never engage yourself into fight. Only then they will teach you all secret techniques. That is why the higher adhikara, I mean not digital adhikara, not self-imagining adhikara, you calling me with some title and I am giving you title return kind of. So it is all proper clearing exams and getting adhikara. So for that high level adhikari, they will say, you know what, I'm giving you free will. When they will tell this, that adhikari will know there is no such free will. Only then they will give you that free will. Now you don't expect all those. Okay, so now it is all Namah Shivaya, digital devotion. So pranayama, the ratio of pranayama is 1:4:2. 1 purakam, 4 times of purakam is kumbhakam. 2 times of purakam is rechakam. Filling the air is purakam, holding the air is kumbhakam, then releasing the air is rechakam. This is the pranayama. 1:4:2. Initially, if you cannot practice 1:4:2 ratio, like one time you hold, 4 times, one time you inhale, 4 times you hold, 2 times exhale. If you cannot practice 1:4:2 initially, you can start from 1:1:1. then 1 is to 2 is to 1, then 1 is to 4 is to 2. I cannot show you. Just now I had a dinner. My stomach is full. So holding it, so inhaling, holding, releasing. Then on left nostril, inhaling, holding it, releasing. Then from both nostril, you will have to inhale like this, both nostril hold, and both nostril you will have to exhale. This is one pranayama. Like this, one has to do 3 pranayamas. That is mandatory. Okay. And so this is how you will have to begin your japa. First pranayama. So with this, all your thoughts will get settled and your sharira will get filled with prana, oxygen, oxygenated blood. That keeps you energy. So you will not feel tired. You can prolong your japa. We have not told all these reasons and all. Nowadays, this digital devotion has come. No, you people want every explanation, else you are not doing it. Not doing is also good, but making wrong propaganda is bad. No, that is why we people are forced to give all the explanations. So pranayama, then japa. Once japa is done, dhyana. What is dhyana? Visualizing lotus is blooming, visualizing Suryan here, Chandran here, visualizing thousand Suryan, visualizing your astral body, visualizing your astral body. Never ever get into that kind of commercial spirituality. Never lose yourself to imaginations. Spirituality is not something superstitious that puts you into imaginations. Dhyana means ajapa, a state where you will not do japa, but remain as the swarupa of japa, which you cannot understand now. So start with japa. Dhyana means close your eyes, don't think anything, remain zero. Don't get into visualizations and all those things. Nonsense. Leg numbness. Leg numbness 100% will come. In fact, you know what? You should do japa till your buttocks goes numb. Only then, you know what? You can tell I am doing japa. Until then, you cannot tell japa. These are all very entry level. The buttocks has to go numb. There should be a blood clot in buttocks. That is how one should get into spiritual practice. Spiritual practice, it's not like you imagine Shiva is coming down, means Shiva is coming down. No, you will have to literally bring down Shiva. You will have to disturb his dhyana with your japa and you will have to bring him. Can anyone do that? That is sadhana. So never, ever, ever, ever call yourself a sadhaka. Don't say you are doing sadhana. Why I am telling is then you can never do sadhana. If you ever aim for it, start identifying what your state is now. Start calling that state as what it is. And from there, you start to work. Inability to sit straight. You cannot sit straight without a prana. Do pranayama. Leg numbness also will get slowly go. You can sit straight. Manasika japa, I couldn't do without moving tongue and lips. This is all very normal. I told you, no, you cannot immediately, you cannot go to Kailasha. If you are somewhere down south in Kanyakumari, you want to go to Kailasha, you need to travel all along to Kailasha. Travel. Have faith and patience in your travel. Hold on to Maharaj. Don't get into this kind of YouTube business. You make sure this should be your last video following, following someone who is coming in YouTube. Go out. Search for the learned Maharaj. Kneel before him. Prove him you are worthy to learn. Then learn. You are somewhere in Kanyakumari. I tell, this is the path. You go to Kailash. Shiva will be waiting there. He will welcome you with all love. Imagine how long the journey is. Imagine how many accidents may happen. Imagine the smoothness of road, or imagine the free flow of highways that we have. Imagine the toll gate here and there. Imagine the lorry drivers. Imagine the two wheelers. Imagine the city route that you are supposed to cross. Imagine the forest that you are supposed to cross, where there are a lot of wild reptiles, wild animals are all there. And don't you need food while you travel from Kanyakumari to Kailash? Different language, different people, different state, different characters of people. You will have to go through all this. Just listening to this one YouTube video and you think, Siddhakash Bhairava said he is showing way to Kailash means nonsense. Somebody from Kanyakumari will have to hold your hand. They will have to take you safely to Kailash. They should have that responsibility on you. Else, I told you the route. No. So before going Kailasha, you will go to that Kailasha. So here, I am not taking anybody's responsibility. I am not even a guide, I am not a guru, nothing. I am just breaking the modern distortions, as simple as to say. To save you? No, definitely not. That's not my purpose. I am a Hindu, no. So I am saving Hinduism. So these are all, proudly I call myself I am Hinduism. I am also a corporate employee. I was a corporate employee. I worked for multinational companies. Never I went without all these things. HR said, I'm giving you a warning. MD doesn't like you, come this way. I said, give me a letter. Give me a letter. Don't talk. Give me a letter. I know how to handle this. I am a Hindu. Musalman is going and doing namaz Friday sharp at 1 p.m. You are sending people. Sometimes Musalman is coming with a cap. You are loving. Christian is coming with the chain. You are loving. Why not Hindus? Sardar is coming with the turban. You are allowing. Why not Hindus? Means we are not taking it seriously. So I am not here to save any of the modern digital born spiritual people. I am here to save Hinduism, as simple as to say. Garvapsi. I am calling everyone Garvapsi. Fall back to tradition. Tradition is the root for any religion. If this tradition is, disturbed, like, I'm telling you very simple ways. You do only this, modern, all those things, then tradition will go, the root will get destroyed, the big tree Hinduism will fall because of whom? Hindus only. So, Manasika Japa without moving tongue and lips and all is, if it is not possible for you now, make sure you have a long journey. And as of now, I have given you all the necessary things. So, you follow those. One day, this Manasika Japa, you will get it. Okay, so nothing is superior, nothing is inferior. What now you are doing is correct. If you are going to do like this, do, there is nothing wrong. Second, how to do intensively. My Maharaj will always say, slow and steady wins the race. Here, intense does not lie in count. Like once in a month, 10,000 japa. Once in a month, 3,000 japa. Nonsense. Intensely means daily 1,000 japa. Daily 1,000 japa with full concentration. It has to be like concentrated acid. The moment you start doing japa, all the thoughts will get burnt. Like how when you put acid on a vessel, like how all those stains go. The same way when you do japa, all your stains that is there will go and It has to bring you to the path of truth. Intents of japa not lies in count. Intents of japa lies in concentration. And what about crore japa, 10 crore japa, 50 crore japa, 1 lakh sahasranama, 10 lakh sahasranama? Is that all not intense? No, not intense. What value does it carry? Ambani is carrying crores of rupees. Like Ambani, you know what? There are few crore-patis. You are a common man. Ambani has its own richness. You are just a Geo subscriber. What a number you have here. Ambani is recruiting everyone. Ambani is saying, okay, use Geo, use Geo, use Geo, use Geo. So we are all using Geo. That's all. Are we becoming a crorepati? No. Ambani is becoming a crorepati. So until and unless you do crores of japas, until and unless you do lakhs of sahasranama, never count the group japa or group sahasranama. That has got nothing to do with you. You are just the Geo subscriber. That's all. You are not Ambani. Become a Ambani. If you want to become a crorepati, if you have a dream of becoming crorepati, become a Ambani. Learn under him. Become a Ambani. And Ambani will not teach you business because this is business. So Ambani won't teach you. Yes, he will get competition. No. So intense japa does not lie in count. Intense japa lies in your concentration. Practice pranayama. And how to do japa? First these thing. No, either way, even this thing we don't know, right? Some will say I sit on floor, and some will say I sit on yoga mat. Some will say I sit on darbasana. Some will say I sit on cloth. Red cloth, that too they will say. Red cloth, I will sit on red cloth. See, Darbasana is not a Darbasana nowadays. First point. Hardly you find original Darbasana. It is all normal mat that looks like Darbasana. Yoga mat. Yoga mat is yet another doormat. That is not going to help you with the japa. Cloth, it brings daridrya. Let it be of, even if you use a red cloth, that brings only daridrya. Sitting on floor gives you disease, roga. We don't know even the basics of doing japa, but yet we are giving spiritual advice even to Adi Shankara. We should feel little shame when we talk, you know. So we should always listen to the people who are learned and we should follow true practices. The one who says from Kanyakumari, this is the route, go to Kailash, will never tell you anything. The one who is holding your hand at Kanyakumari, the one who is taking you every step, helping you to go till Kailasha, no, he only will tell you how to do what. Else this auto wala from Kanyakumari, you ask him, I want to go to Kailash, he will think, okay, anyways, I cannot take him to Kailash. So you go straight. That's all. Straight route, easy route. You go, Kailash will come. And there are people having maps in hand. The educated people, no, they will have maps in hand. So things don't work. So for you to do japa, buy a kambal asana. Kambal means wool, woolen cloth. Red kambal asana has to be there. And in that red kambal asana, there must not be any other colors like blue, green, orange, or it has to be entirely red like this. And the red has to be of this red, not this red. Okay. On that asana only you can sit and do japa. That asana is no different from your Japa Mala. Your Japa Mala and your asana are no different from the Swami Vigraha that you do puja. So your Japa Mala and asana must carry the equal respect that you give to your Swami's Vigraha. So even your asana, nobody should touch. You keep that asana in a secluded place. Take it from both your hand, drop it, touch it, do namaskara to the asana, pray to the asana, Please, I'm going to do this much of japa. This is my sankalpa today. Please help me do that. And then you sit on asana. Once again, do namaskara to the asana and pray. Once again, I'm praying. Please help me do that. Please make sure you control my thoughts. Please make sure you give me concentration. That much of importance asana has on which you sit. It's not like take this mat, put it down, tuck, sit, tuck. Then what spirituality you people are learning? I really cannot understand. But without a shame, you people are all sitting, you trying to sit even above our heads. Swami Sharnam. It is only for which, you know what, I am spending my time here in this YouTube. Else I will be having puja after 10 o'clock. Swami Sharnam. So this is how you will have to use asana, and this is the asana you will have to use for japa. How to tackle obstacles of doing japa? See, again, there are famous sayings. In a particular temple, you go do japa. One japa will give the benefit of 100 times japa. One japa will give the benefit of 10,000 times japa. You go to kshetra, you do japa, that will multiply like you know what, thousands on thousands and thousands and thousands, they will say. No. These are all stories. Always stories comes with the kalpanas and exaggerations to make the story pleasing to hear and to convince people on that story. Stories are always stories. Whereas when it comes to mantra tantra vidya, there are no such stories. A is equal to A means A is equal to A only. There is no A is equal to Z. Or there we cannot say there are so many forms of A. Those things are all not there. So if you don't want to face the obstacles of japa, first take care of Japa Mala in such a way I told you. Second, do japa in that Japa Mala in such a way I have told you. Third, do japa in those three ways, whichever you are sitting at this point of time, do in that way, like how I have told you. Fourth is asana. Fifth is timing. Namah Shivaya. See, Swami has given particular timings for Manushya. Swami has given particular timings for Bhuta Pretas. Swami has given a particular time for Brahma Rakshas. Swami has given particular time for Pishachaganas. So all Swami has given particular time for Vetalas. Swami has given particular time for Bhairava Ganas. Nama. Bhairava means not just Bhairava is a nama for Gana. Chamunda is a nama for Gana. So Kali is a nama for Gana. So everybody has to worship that primordial Shakti to get Shakti. So for which, for all, we belong to Manushya Gana. So for all different Ganas, Swami has given, okay, for Pishachagana, you worship me in this time. For Bhutagana, you worship me in this time. For Pretagana, you worship me in this time. For Bhairavagana, you worship me in this time. For Vetalagana, you worship me in this time. For Chamundagana, you worship me in this time. For Dagini, Kagini, Lakini, and all those things, you worship me in this time. For Brahma Rakshas, you worship me in this time. And for Manushya, you worship me in this time. For Nagas, you worship me in this time. Swami is ever busy. We are the people who thinks, okay, I have done a lot today, let me take rest. Swami can never take rest. So for Manushyas, Swami has given two kalas. For others and all, only one kala, only for a particular amount of time only they have given. Hardly 1 hour or 2 hour only. Even for Bhairavagana, it is only 1 hour. 1 hour out of all 24 hours. They can worship that supreme truth only for 1 hour in a day. For Manushyas, they have given two kalas, hardly 4 to 5 hours. One is Brahma Muhurta, second is Pradosha Kala. Pradosha Kala means not just this Trayodasi. That is Paksha Pradosha. Pradosha means every sunset is Pradosha. So every Sandhya Kalam is Pradosha. So for Manushya Ganas to worship Swami, we will have to worship on during Brahma Muhurta or during Sandhya Kala. Other times and all 100% forbidden. Ratri Kala and all 100% forbidden. That is all not for Samanyas. That is all for high level people who knows how to handle what. Still there is no certainty like they can handle. So if you follow this time, you shall make sure, and this time and also all those things that I have told you earlier, then you will not get any obstacles. Best practices to adopt. Wake up before sunrise. A man must never sleep after sunrise. Before sunrise, he has to have a bath and he should be in the puja room. After sunrise, he must not sleep. He will get the shapa of Surya Bhagavan. Surya Bhagavan is the one who helps one to get Atma Darshana. You do worship any Swami, your Atma Darshana comes only through Surya Bhagavan. That Swami will act as a medium to Surya Bhagavan and he will say, give him Atma Darshana. So it is only Surya Bhagavan who can give Atma Darshana, and Japa is all for that self-realization. And if you sleep after sunrise, you will get the Shapa of Surya Bhagavan. For certainty, you will not get a self-realization. For certainty, you will not proceed. So best practices to adopt is first, wake up in the early morning and immediately have a bath. You please Surya Bhagavan. The more and more you please Surya Bhagavan, when there is Surya Bhagavan, a man must not sleep. He should not even have a nap. Second is speaking truth, adhering to truth. If you did some mistake, accept it. If you have not done mistake, howsoever somebody is a giant, howsoever somebody is powerful, stand firm. The truth will protect you. Uphold the truth and wake up before sunrise. Make sure you think truth. Make sure your tongue is clean with the truth. This has got no control because everybody will speak, if they speak 100 words, hardly 99.9 words will be false. So this is not in our control, hearing this. So hearing this kind of, asatya is also papa. That is why we do pranayama. Pranayama will in turn, burn all these asatyas that we carry. So every single act comes with 100 effects and the effects. You ignore one, you ignore everything. So these are all the best practices to adopt. And when you do japa, you will have to sit straight, not like this, not like this. Sit straight. In such a way, your body is not undergoing any pressure. And you should not do like this, you should not do like this, you should not do like this, you should not yawn, you should not shake your body, you should remain like a statue. That's all. And the very best practice to do japa is doing japa having the eyes open. You must not do your japa closing the eyes. Why? Because then everyone will say Bhairavar is my guru, Kali is my guru, Chinnamasta is my guru, Dhumavati is my guru, Lalita is my guru. Then Ramana Maharshi is my guru, Ramakrishna is my guru, Arabindo is my guru, Agastya is my guru, Pampati Siddhar is my guru. Then you know what? All these nonsense will come. Either You will speak asatya knowing the truth, or else you yourself will become the asatya and turn into mental. So we are all, what, we all have the ability to visualize. So whatever that you see, whatever that you hear, whatever what that you feel, all will come under visualizations. Those things and all must not come. That is why Bhagavan Ramar will say, do japa by seeing your nose tip. So obviously, you will see a pressure in Ajna Chakra. So you don't need to close your eyes and have a pressure in Ajna Chakra. You will have to do japa by looking at the nose tip. Namah Shivaya, 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 Namah Shivaya. This is how it has to be. You feel pain. If ever you feel pain, immediately get back to normal position. Don't do. Gradually increase the count. So, to a born baby, you cannot feed biryani. It has to start from mother's milk only. Always. You cannot, ignore the first step and keep your feet on 100th step. You do 10 japas, you feel pain, relax yourself. Then do another 10 japa. Like how you work out in gym. The same way. This is how a man has to do japa. So that he will not get into visualizations, he will not get into imaginations. He will not, self-accredit himself like he has become more than Adi Shankara. So all these diseases, he will, he will have the support to avoid if you do japa in a way that I have told. Japa Mala, Japa Asana, then Japa Mala bag and all, and how to, where to keep Japa Mala, all those things I have told, no, and how to sit, where to focus. Your focus is always on those two. No Muladhara, no Swadhisthana, no Manipuraka, no Anahata, no Shastras. These are all business. Never get into business. Don't become a prey for such scoundrels. What is the true essence of Japa? True essence of Japa is Japa Mahima. No. So we will have this last Japa and individuals' spiritual energy. See, Japa is always individuals' spiritual energy only. Those days, Vasishtha Maharishi or Vishwamitra Maharishi and all conducted a homa for Lokakshema, means a Raja like Dasharathan has to live long. A Raja like Rama Bhagavan has to live long. A Raja like Krishna Bhagavan has to live long, because they all are born to uphold Dharma. So if they are ruling the entire Bharatavarsha, then all Janas will remain happy. So they do a Havana for their longevity, for Dasharathan to remain more than 100 years, for Rama to remain more than 100 years, for Krishna to remain more than 100 years, so that if they remain that long, they will hold the position of king that long, so that the entire Bharatavarsha, they are ruling, no, all Janas will live happily. This is the context. So their Lokak, that is why they will not tell this is for Aishya Homa for Dasharathan. They will not sell. They will not tell. They will not tell Aishya Homa for Bhagavan Rama, because there the importance of self is coming. No. So our Acharyas have called it as Lokakshema. We are doing this puja not particularly for Rama to have longevity, not particularly for Krishna to have longevity, not particularly for Dasharathan to have longevity. We are not doing any favor to you personally. You are all good. So if you hold this Rajanga, our Janas will remain good. Considering our Janas' welfare, we want you to live long. So we are doing this Homa, we are doing this puja for Lokakshema. This is the crux. You do japa, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Lokakshema, Lokakshema, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Lokakshema, Lokakshema, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. What is happening? Have we retrieved, anything? No, that don't happen. Thing is, every individual becomes the society. Then the society becomes the state, and state becomes the nation. So the more and more every individual is gaining literacy, the more and more every individual is gaining knowledge, the more and more every individual remains with wisdom, nation grows. That is Lokakshema, not anything else. There are no particular Lokakshema rituals in any Shastra. It is all man-made. This Lokakshema is all for this kind of purpose only. It is for the king of that particular kshetra. So he has to live long, to give him the strength to defeat enemies. May all the devas provide their weapons. May all the devas bless him. May the Dashadik Balagas bless him. May the Ashtavasus bless him with all the wealth. These are all has to be there in Lokakshema Puja. Doing this inside closed walls, it's not going to do anything. Or doing big Havana, it's not going to do anything. Because we don't even know the basics first. So difference between Vedic and Tantric Japa. Somebody has asked. Japa means Japa, that's all, an act of repetition. So Vedic Japa is also going to take you towards self-realization, and Tantric Japa is also going to take you towards self-realization. Only thing is, when it comes to Vedic Japas, there won't be any Bijakshara apart from Omkara. When it comes to Tantric Japas, you will have Bijakshara. That is the only thing. Nothing is superior. Just because Tantrika like me is wearing, black clothes, or other Tantrikas wearing red, green color clothes, this doesn't say white dhoti is lower. White dhoti is absence of color. Other dhotis carries colors with it. So what is pure? Colors are white means white only is pure. Others are all not pure. So we should know to respect Veda Marga. Just because we learn few Bijaksharas from the textbook or by talking with the people who are thing, and we cannot see Veda Marga law. Veda is Sriman Narayana Swarupa. So there is no match for Vedas. We can say Tantrika is no different from Veda Marga, because the original path of Tantrika is also not superstition or occult or something terrific or powerful. The path of Tantrika is towards self-realization. The purpose of Veda Marga is also for self-realization. But which one is superior? Always Veda Marga. Because Veda is Sakshat Sriman Narayana Swarupa. But which will act fast? Is Tantric Japas will act fast? No. So we have seen so many videos, we have read so many books. Who said? Not like that. The way I told you, no. Follow those ways. Let it be of Vedic Japa, let it be of Tantric Japa. What you are decides whether the mantra works or whether the mantra is not working. You should become the patra of Satya. You should carry, unconditional devotion. That devotion has to come from heart, not from digital sources. Because we are getting people. Please find my Ishtadevata by looking at my Jataka. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. If at all there is somebody who is willing to, fuel this nonsense, either they must be nonsense or they are spiritually crooked. You please go there. Idalla nonsense. This has got no value in this path of spirituality. So, speed of the japa, does this affect its effectiveness? 100% that will affect. Neither you should chant fast Namah Shivaya, 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 Namah Shivaya. 10 minutes only. Still 400 japas. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. In 20 minutes, I'm going to do 1008. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. What does it carry? No. The other side. Now, I have a lot of time. I'm going to do with 100% focus. So I have seen some Ramanand Sagar dramas and all. This is how they are chanting. Om Nama Shivaya. They are doing 10 japas like this, and the Swami is giving darshana. Nonsense. Japa has to be neither slow, Japa has to be neither fast. It has to be, if it is Om Namah Shivaya, it has to be Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. It cannot be Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, or Om Namah Shivaya. Both don't work. So, how you chant has to be learned. From whom? Not from the textbooks or not through YouTube. Why is Japa counting important? Always counting matters. If somebody gives you salary, your employer gives you salary, won't you count? Commerce. Commerce involves count. This Japa is act of commerce. What commerce? You are giving your karma phala and you are receiving the Japa phala. An act of commerce. So how much you give is directly proportional to how much you get. That's all. So counting matters. But counting alone does not matters. All the above attributes also has to be noted. Okay. Then right way to hold Japa Mala, that I have told you already. How does Japa purify the mind and body? This I have told you, no? Pranayama. First pranayama. Pranayama makes you empty. And Japa is like the sun's rays. Say, for example, you just these material thoughts are no different from the smell of rotten fruits or rotten egg. You do pranayama, you are cleaning it. So you have cleaned it entirely. So there is no remains, even small tiny bit of remains there in patra. Everything is cleaned with pranayama. Still, you smell it. Still, the smell is there. That is called vasana. We tell no vasana. That is vasana. How will this vasana go? Keep it in sunlight. Keep it in sunlight. All vasanas will go. That is japa. That is why Surya Bhagavan is 100% mandatory for one to get Atma Darshana. You do any japa, it is only through Surya Bhagavan you will get Atma Darshana. Why do some people feel no effect from japa despite practicing for years? They wouldn't have followed all those that I have told you. So, signs that japa is truly working. I have got an recent email. Usually, we will get if I listen to Swami Nama, I am crying. Does this mean my birth has got elevated? Am I becoming little more than human? Am I traveling closer to Swami? Does this mean I am pure? My bhakti is pure. Just now I have started japa and I'm getting all these opportunities to go closer to Swami. Does this mean japa is working? No. No means we cannot calculate or we cannot connect all the coincidences because human mind is limited and a man must know the spiritual disciplines. The man must know what he is. But well before that, if he starts connecting the dots and if he starts thinking he is going a little, more than the normal human without going through any proper samskaras in spirituality, then that can never be answered because nobody is a Siddha Purusha. If at all you are Siddha Purusha, then why have you put up in a family? Will Siddha Purusha remain in a family? Will Siddha Purusha taught through YouTube? Will Siddha Purusha listens through YouTube? Will Siddha Purusha don't have a guru and go and attend every webinars, every YouTube personalities or every Facebook personalities like me coming and telling no, not even Samanya Purushas. Even if there is a Samanya Purusha, if he has a guru, he must not come here. But there are people who have come here, which I know. That means you are not true to your guru. Unfortunately, that guru is having a shishyas like you. Like how my shishyas, that's how we have a clear terminology. If ever I find my shishyas going elsewhere, I will immediately send you out. So those are all the rules that we maintain here. Unfortunately, such gurus are all believing you like, okay, you remain 100% true to them. You don't go look for fast foods like this. That means your guru is not capable to tell you basic things if you come here. So you are pulling down your guru with your mere act. When you do this kind of blunder, when you do this kind of papa, imagine how can you go close to Swami? Apply common sense. If you apply common sense, you can understand spirituality, proper spirituality. Else, you will become prey for everyone. So, never ever find the signs like whether Japa is working or not. No. Until, first of all, Japa is a anga to worship Swami. What Anjaneya did, only Rama Japa. Who told you like this? Have you trained Anumar? Have you trained Anumar how to show devotion? You read few books. That too you have understood with your limited jnana, without undergoing any spiritual samskara. And by watching Raman and Sagar movies or animations or serials, and you yourself have thought Anumar has done anything except Rama Japa, Rama, 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 Rama. Why this imagination? No. This same book will tell Hanumar went to Surya Bhagavan. He flew towards Surya Bhagavan and he has learnt everything. This also we will read. But traveling that far, learning everything is quite complex. I am not comfortable. I am comfortable sitting here doing Rama, 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 Rama because Anjaneya did this. Those things and all will not work. Swami will give time. Whether you will learn or not, he will think. If you don't learn and if you stick to this same nonsense, then Swami will one day, okay, you want only this only, no? Let you have this. Once you get into the path, once you travel properly, by that time I will come to you and Swami will go. So, Japa is a anga to worship Swami. It is like a hand, that's all. Don't you need a face? Don't you need the other hand? Don't you need chest, all the internal organs, waist, genitals, especially, then the legs, all these don't you want? So, signs that Japa is truly working means Only if you start looking for the other parts, then you can think, okay, my japa is working. And if you learn all these properly under proper spiritual samskaras, only then you can understand, okay, my japa is working. Until then, never ever get into this business of connecting dots. And then, does listening to japa has the same effect as chanting it yourself? It will have its own effect. Always, reading about the medicine is different. Say, for example, you practicing like how I practice is different. You learning practice from me and getting into the practice is different. You listening to this YouTube video and getting exactly what I am telling you is different. You listening to this YouTube video and not getting anything but imagining yourself, that is different. So everything is different. No. So everything has its own effect. Now, can a japa alone is enough for spiritual? I said 100% no. A few minutes before only I told. So people think Hanuman as a very bad example. So their devotion see Hanuman as nothing then. So all the 24 questions we have seen. Let me see whether this pregnancy related question one Amma has asked, whether she has come or not. Okay, that Amma is not here, so we will skip this question. Now, what is Japa Mahima? Okay, this Japa Mahima, let me again close this chat box. This Japa Mahima, we will have to think personalities like Narada Maharishi. We will have to think personalities like Hanuman. We will have to think personalities like Prahladan. Why? They are the people who can teach us Japa Mahima. Naradar, Upasaka, Narayana Upasaka, who carries with his veena that called Mahadi. So he does Japa. He does Japa in such a way, even his veena does Japa. Japa Mahima. What Japa Mahima here? Naradar can go to any loka. Even asuras don't affect him. Why? Japa Mahima. Narayana Japa Mahima. Because Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagat. So Mahavishnu is Atma Swarupa. Mahavishnu is that Surya Bhagavan. So this Atma Darshana is nothing but the Darshana of Mahavishnu. You worship Bhairava, you worship Kalika, you worship Chinnamastika, you worship anybody. From where you came, it is there you have to go. So Atma Darshana is nothing but the Darshana of Mahavishnu. Vishnu means ever-pervading consciousness. That's all. Mahavishnu is Kali, Mahavishnu is Bhairava, Mahavishnu is Narsimha, Mahavishnu is everything. Mahavishnu is you, Mahavishnu is me, Mahavishnu is Asura. It is one Chaitanya that differs into many. So based on the Patra, that the Chaitanya works. So Narada's Japa Mahima of Narayana Japa, even if we get into the Darbar of Asura, Narayana has to help Narada even in the form of Asura. He is bound to help Narada Bhagavan, Narada Maharishi. That is the Japa Mahima. And again, in movies, they will show only Narada is doing Kirtana. That doesn't mean just because you watch movies, never fall into assumptions. Okay. So Narada is the Putra of Brahma. Narada gets Nitya Sakshatkara Darshan of Mahavishnu. How can he remain as layman and as lazy as the modern spiritual Upasaka Kulabhushanas? So he will have A to Z knowledge on Veda Margam and also Mantra Tantra Shastra. Even for Narada Bhagavan to worship, there are Vidyas in Mantra Tantra Shastra to get his blessings. What will he do if he worship? That I will not tell. But he will be the influencing personality for us to develop devotion within us to understand what Japa Mahima is. Second, you can learn Japa Mahima from Prahladan. What he did, he is the sadhaka. We giving birth, humans, or you take any species, only the feminine gender will give birth. Men will support her to give birth. So it is like Jiva gives birth to Jiva. Sometimes Jiva gives birth to Ajiva. Means dead child, no? Sometimes dead child are getting born, no? So Jiva giving birth to Ajiva. Can a lifeless pillar give birth? The Narayana Japa of Prahladan made even the lifeless pillar to give birth of Narasimha. No, that is Japa Mahima. And again, what Prahladan did in movies, they have shown he is chanting, doing bhajan, and he is chanting Narayana, Narayana, Narayana everywhere. Don't fall into those. You see movie as movie and get back to reality. So the practice of him making Swami to take avatar is different. His manaspakva is different. Ours is different. We should always know our position. We cannot imagine things. Hanumar. Everyone know Hanumar. As simple as to say. So Hanumar's Japa Mahima is more than his Japa Nayaka. Illaya? Hanumar's Ramanama Japa will even fight and win Bhagavan Ramar. That is Hanumar. Adudan Japa Mahima. That is Japa Mahima. So if you follow all this that I have told to do Japa, no. And somebody has asked the difference between Nama Japa and Mantra Japa. See, when it comes to Mantra Japa, Vaidika Mantra Japa, you can very well take from the text after confirming that text is correct without any typographical errors. You shall do that. When it comes to Tantrokta Mantra Japas, without undergoing proper samskara, you cannot chant, because always effect and affect are two sides of the same coin. Third, Nama Japa. Nama Japa, Shastra has not told Kalika Nama Japa. Shastra has not told Bhairava Nama Japa. Shastra has not told Dhumavati Nama Japa. Shastra has not told what? Garuda Nama Japa. Shastra has not told Mahakalar Nama Japa. We can tell what Shastra has told them. That's best. Don'ts and all they will not say. They will only say do's. And we people have to follow the do's. There is no option of asking question. Durga Nama Japa. If you want to worship the Parabrahma in the form of Stri Rupa, you worship her as Durga. Om Durgayai Namaha. Om Durgayai Namaha. Nama. What does this mean? Om Durgayai Namaha. Durga means Durgati Nashini. So Om Durgayai Namaha means the one who kills the Durgati, or you know what, who saves people from Durgati is only you, not anyone or anything else. So this Nama exclusively belongs to you. The Namaha says that only. So this does not belongs to me. Om Durga Yai Namaha. That Namaha coming, no. So this Nama Durga does not belongs to me. If something that does not belongs to you, then the other party who is in front of you, it belongs to them. So automatically it says Om Durga Yai Namaha means Amma, you are the only one who acts as like Durgadi Nashini. You are the one who, saves people from Durgadi. So Om Durgayai Namaha, Om Durgayai Namaha, Om Durgayai Namaha. If you want to worship that Parabrahma in Purusha Swarupa, then it is Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayan. Because Narayana and Durga are one and the same, they are no different. Then what about Namah Shivaya? No. Shaiva Mata may promote Namah Shivaya. Narayana Mata will promote Namo Narayanaya. Daurga Mata will promote Durga. Other matas and all do not promote any Nama Japa because they are all exclusively Vidyas. So there is no such. So when you walk in the path of Vidyas, instead of holding into one, if you hold to Shaiva Mata, then Om Namah Shivaya. That Namah Shivaya will go to Narayana only. Because Shiva and Narayana are again one and the same. Here the supreme truth, you are calling him as Om Namah Shivaya. But if you are striving to walk in the path of Vidyas, which is Akhanda Sagara, then only two Nama Japas the Shastras are prescribing. One is Durga Nama Japa, second is Narayana Nama Japa. That's all. Other things and all they don't prescribe. Other things they can tell us like Jaya Jaya Sri Sudarshana, Jaya Jaya Nrasimha. These two things they will say. That too, they will, don't prescribe you to chant, do this as much as possible and all, they will not tell. Whenever you go through problems, think of Narayana and tell Jaya Jaya Sri Sudarshana or Jaya Jaya Sri Nrasimha or Jaya Jaya Nrasimha. Even these two are not prescribed for somebody to choose as Nama Japa. These are the only two. Namah Shivaya, Namo Narayanaya, Om Durgaya Namaha. So Namah Shivaya, if somebody is into born Shaiva, then Namah Shivaya is permitted to him. Because for him, that Mahavishnu is this Shivan, Parameshwarar. So when generally to walk into other path of Vidyas, these are all not told. My Guru used to tell, even while doing Havana, since we are into the path of Kalika, I asked my Maharaj, can I do the Sahasranama of Kalika when I do Homa? My Guru said, see, except Lalita Sahasranama, no Sahasranama is to be, done while doing Havana. So it is only Lalita Sahasranama. But are we following this? No. Because we don't know the procedure. So Sahasranama, Kalika Sahasranama Homa, Bhairava Sahasranama Homa, then Narasimha Sahasranama Homa, Vishnu Sahasranama Homa. Even Vishnu Sahasranama Homa is also not there. In the path of Tantrika, there's only Lalita Sahasranama Homa is there when it comes to Sahasranama. So when somebody who has achieved has made the strict guidelines, then we are supposed to walk in that guidelines only. I don't have the guts to tell my own opinion. Like, see, I have traveled, completed my 20 years of journey in this path. I have got these technically. So I can give you my opinion. No, there are no opinions in spiritual path. Nowadays, I'm seeing videos like, in my opinion, who are you to give opinion? Already the road is laid. We are supposed to walk on it. As simple as to say, we are supposed to follow the traffic rules. We are supposed to follow the community guidelines. We are supposed to, know what we are, just a normal citizen on that road, and we will have to walk it. And we should make sure we should not, throw the dust or spit on that road. We should make sure, okay, as a citizen, responsible citizen, I will have to behave. The same way, as a responsible seeker, you are supposed to behave on that path, like how, as a responsible citizen, you are supposed to behave on the road. As simple as to say. So, this is the Japa Mahima. This bhavana, dharana, and all is not the right time to talk now. First, practice japa. First, I think now you have understood the meaning of what japa is and how to do japa and all those things you would have understood. Then, this is basement for Japa Mahima. We will have another webinar. If at all you are interested to learn further, else waste of time for me. If at all you are interested to learn further, you tell me as a comment in this video. Then we will take this Japa Mahima to the next level. There you will see the Japa Mahima. Now, under Japa Mahima, now you have learned what is Japa, what are all the three different ways of Japa, which has got no greater or lesser path. You know how to do Japa, how to use Japa Mala. All these things now you have learned to know. So you practice this. Just in case if you are interested to learn further on the same topic, then we can get into little deep. Little deep. That's all. What can this digital communications can do? We cannot swim in Sagara. We have to stand in just knee level waters, as simple as to say. Now this Japa Mahima is a toe level water we are standing. If ever you are wish to stand in a knee level water, you know what, let me know in comments. Then maybe next Sunday, you know what, Saturday is Amavasya, no? 29th is Amavasya. So I have a puja. So 30th, I don't know, I think this room all will be dirty after Amavasya puja. So if possible, we will meet on 13th based on your interest. If not, again, we will see the same topic on the next Sunday. I mean, not this coming Sunday, next Sunday. Again, if you are interested to learn, as simple as to say. But one final request from my end is save Hinduism. Never spread about something that you don't know completely. Don't follow books blindly. Hold the roots of tradition and tell yourself, I will have to do Garvapsi. It's not like Garvapsi means, you know what, bringing Christians and Muslims to Hindus. As every Christian Muslim is once a Hindu. And you are still in a Hindu, but you are neither a Hindu, nor a Muslim, nor a Christian. So if they throw stones from outside, you by leaving the tradition, getting into modern distorted spirituality, you are throwing stones from inside the house. You people are more dangerous than those Abraham people who try to destroy Hinduism along with the government support. It is for which, now the time is 10:30, 10:40. So that is the only sole purpose of all these. So based on your interest, slowly, we will learn the basic pujas also. As much as possible, I will try to spread the tradition to save Hinduism. If at all you also have the, fire of saving Hinduism, learn it. Yes, who bothers? If this is how the Hinduism has to go, means that's how it has to go. Who can change? Neither you nor I. But the thing is, we will have to do our duties and responsibilities, as simple as to say. Swamisha. End stream. Oh.